Hey guys, welcome to the channel. The big boys have released their earnings. So in today's video, we're going to talk a little bit about what we saw in all three of them, Microsoft, Tesla, and Meta, the impact that it had on them in the market. I will say one of them is getting beat up quite a bit right now in the after hours. Not sure why though, when we take a look at some of their earnings and the numbers they've reported in the quarter, but they are taking a hit for sure. And then I want to jump over and also just see how the impact of some of these numbers and the commitments that these companies have made, what those impacts or performance numbers have on the memory sector. So we're going to dive in and take a look at some of our favorites on this channel. We're going to take a look at what Seagate did today. Did they continue their run today like they did yesterday after their strong earnings and yesterday in the after hours? And we'll take a look at Western Digital, and we'll take a look at one of our favorites on this channel, which is Micron as well. Were though all three of those still running hot and strong today? So welcome to the next edition of After Hours, as I'm starting to call this show, because it seems like I get excited after the market closes and looking at some of the earnings that are happening. But if you haven't had a chance already, hit the like. It helps the algorithm, and hit the subscribe so you can get my videos that come out each and every day, and you can be part of the community. So hopefully I can save you some time by bringing the insights and trends directly to you, and hopefully to make you a more informed and better investor. But let's jump in and take a look at what happened today with the mega cap companies. So I'm going to jump over right now, guys, and we're going to take a look at our first one, which is Microsoft. You know, I was eager about this report, this print today. And across the board, Microsoft beat expectations. They had income of over $81 billion in the quarter, which was up 17% compared to prior year. They also beat expectations on earnings per share. It was $5.16 per share, I think up 60% over same time period prior year. And their operating income was up by 21%. It was at a 38.3. We're going to dive in a little bit and look at some of the fundamentals, because this is a head scratcher for me. I don't know if it is for you as well. If it is, drop it in the comments, because this is the stock that had a solid day, and you can see it on the screen here down in the lower part. Hopefully you can see where, let me jump over and just use my mouse. You can see right here, ended the day at 481, just over 481, with a pretty solid day, picked about a quarter share point, and they're getting hammered right now in the after hours. So down almost 6%, almost $30 off the share. Some of that was the concerns that the people have with their CapEx investment. So they have a CapEx investment of $37.5 billion. They're fearing that we're not seeing the return on that investment. That investment is obviously driven towards data centers for cloud and AI offerings for Microsoft. But when I show you the balance sheets in a moment, it's going to scratch your head, because when we compare that to Meta, and Meta right now is in a very different area. If we take a look, guys, let me just jump over here and change this to Meta for you so we can see what's happening there in the after hours. You can clearly see Meta right now is closed the day at 683. I'm going to add that. Sorry, I didn't bring you along there, but you can see Meta closed the day at 668. They were down on the day, but they've been ramping up almost over 8%, almost $55 in the after hours. Now, they had strong earnings too, Meta. They had revenue of just under $60 billion on the quarter, so $59.9 billion, which was up 24% over prior year, driven obviously by ad revenues. Earnings per share for Meta beat expectations. They had $8.88 a share. That was up 11% over prior year. And I think some of the biggest excitement for them was their investment, their commitment to their CapEx. So they're committed to spend anywhere between 115 to 135 billion on the year, primarily focused on building out the Meta superintelligence labs. So this is an area where Zuckerberg is very committed to. He's trying to push the AI performance so he can outpace human performance. And the other thing I think that was a nice relief for Meta is when you took a look in the fourth quarter, they lost $6 billion on the virtual reality lab. So their venture into the metaverse, which was a failed experience, thankfully they pulled back, and they're shifting that investment into other areas, that partnership with Ray-Ban that we've talked before. But in reality, strong performance for them. Tesla also had a solid quarter across the board. Tesla's revenue was $24.9 billion. We can jump over and just kind of take a look what's happening with Tesla right now as well, just to show you. So let's take a look. Sorry, guys, my spelling is wrong. So here we go. Tesla, you can see Tesla right now in the after hours picked up 2.5%, up over 11 share. We had a little bit of a sell-off kind of towards the end here, but overall performing better across the board in their after hours. And Tesla's revenue, their revenue was down. So the automotive revenue was down by 3%, but it's really, I think, the futuristic look that investors like with Tesla. They talked about their full service driving. They talked about the robo-taxis and how they have removed the safety driver within the Austin market and how they're going to continue to expand on that. They talked a little about the Tesla Semi, which is kind of a scary but cool concept all at the same time. And they showed the infrastructure they're going to build to be able to power these Tesla Semis around the country. They also mentioned about the Cybercab and testing their Cybercab in cold climates. So they did some testing out in the Alaskan environment for those. So overall, really focused big on, as we suspected, autonomous vehicles, robotics, not as much on the EV sales, but they are beat expectations as well. But Microsoft, I'm going to go back and just show you guys, because this is the one that got me a little head scratching, as mentioned. If we take a look at their balance sheet, you can see across the board, if we look at revenue just right here on the bottom, you'll see it's $81.3 billion, as I mentioned, up 17%. Operating income up 21%. Earnings per share up 60%. They actually had if I jump down here to the next one, you can see the CapEx expenditures. Yes, it's growing, 37.5% in the forward second quarter, bigger than prior quarter, but we know their commitment here in this space and building out data centers and building out the infrastructure. It's going to be a great news for us in the memory story in a second. But there's two other things I just wanted to point out that I thought were strong for Microsoft. Their commercial bookings increased by 230%. Their cloud revenue was up to $51.5 billion, 26% increase for Microsoft Cloud across the board. Also, we saw, if I jump down below, one more, guys, hang on there for a second. I think this is the slide. Nope. But their intelligent cloud was up 29%. But this is the next one here, Azure. So we know the analysts were focusing on the Microsoft Azure. We wanted to see somewhere between 33 and I think 37%. A lot of analysts estimated. In fact, I think the analysts' expectations were 38.8%. They beat it with a 39%. Yes, it was not the 40 that we've seen in prior years. You could see what they mentioned here, but 39% is incredibly strong. So this is where I shake my head, and I just don't know why this stock is getting beat up as much as it is in the after hours. I think it's a great opportunity to buy the dip. The fundamentals are strong with Microsoft. We know they have incredibly strong, diverse offerings. They have incredibly strong cloud business. The CapEx is there, yes, but I do believe in the long run, Microsoft is going to figure out a way to continue to drive revenues from AI. I think it's a strong company with strong fundamentals. For me, it's a great opportunity to buy the dip. But I also want to just show what's happening a bit in the memory world. So you guys know, anytime we see CapEx investment, particularly from these big tech companies, they're talking about building out more data centers and AIs, and make me think about the impact in memory. So let's jump back. We'll take a look at a couple right out of the gates. We know that Seagate had a fabulous after hours yesterday. It came into the market as we expected, on fire. It closed at $442 today, up 20%, almost $71 on the day. But let's scroll down. Let's see what it's doing in the after hours. There you go. Seagate is picking up another 2%, another $9. They're at $452 a share right now. So continuing strong growth after their earnings with the demand that they have. Western Digital has their earnings tomorrow. They had a good day today as well. If you kind of take a look at that trend, a nice strong trend off the board. And you could see they closed at $279, up $27 on the day, over 10%, continuing to grow in the after hours as well, picking up almost another $10, over a 3% growth, pushing towards $290 a share. And then let's take a look quickly at Micron, my favorite. So Micron had a fabulous day today, 6% growth on top of the 5.5% growth they had yesterday. $435 a share, picked up $25 on the day, and they are continuing to go in the after hours. Another $11 on top of the stock another 2.5% on top, trading at 446 right now, getting real close to that analyst estimate of 450, the consensus. Can this stock push to 500? Want to hear your thoughts down below. Also, let me know what you thought of the earnings today. Who were the stars that you saw? Was it Microsoft? Are you as confused as I am about what's happening to Microsoft right now? Do you think Tesla and Meta deserve the gold medal for today from an earnings perspective, or was it another company? And then do you think the memory stocks can keep running? Drop the comments below. I answer every single one of them. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to engage with you, but I hope you're having a great day. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care.